Hey everyone, so today I have for you two new super special extra releases. These are outside of my usual release schedule, which is usually on Mondays. Every Monday I will put out some releases, but today I wanted to get these out as soon as possible because these are my main fall releases for this year, and I wanted to get them out, before fall is actually over. I'm kind of late with these. And also because there's some Halloween stuff on here, and I wanted to release these about a week before Halloween so that y'all would have time to, buy these and print these out and incorporate them into your spreads before Halloween. So that's why I am doing this now. So for this week, I guess, for today we have one full sheet and then one half sheet release. So let me start with the half sheet. So this is my fall bucket list that I did. It's not super all-encompassing. It does have a lot in it and a couple elements I repeated, but it doesn't have everything. So first I'm going to kind of go over what it doesn't have, which is football. I know there's a lot of football going on around this time, and a lot of other fall bucket lists will include that. I don't include it because I'm not a sports person. I would have no use for those, and I just don't see the need to make more room in this already crowded sheet for something that doesn't really have any applicability in my own life, which is why you will also not see anything to do with coffee in any of my sheets. I'm not a coffee person, I'm more of a tea person, so you will see a lot of that like on the sheet. I also don't have anything like sitting by the fire, which I think I will do more for a winter sheet, and I don't have going on a hayride or anything. I don't know, it's not something I've done. It's something I probably will do quite soon in the future, but not something I really felt the need to include on the sheet. There are a few things that aren't on the sheet that are on the second sheet that you can technically use in the sort of, fall bucket list or fall related thing if you want to do that. But first, let me just show you what's on the fall bucket list. So we have a girl drinking tea, a girl holding a wreath, which is for like fall decorating. And then you have girl raking leaves. This is a girl on a picnic. We have a girl trick-or-treating with all of her candy in her little basket, and she's dressed up kind of vaguely as a cat. I think that actually was one of my Halloween costumes a long time ago. Then you have a girl baking a pie. You have a girl apple picking. And you have a girl with a little jack-o'-lantern here that she's just carved. And then you have a girl watching a movie down here. So this is kind of like for Halloween movies because there's like a spider web on the TV and a jack-o'-lantern here and stuff. And she's got her little bowl of popcorn in front of her. So I also included some scripts to go along with this. Now, what's different between this sheet, these scripts, and other sheets of mine that have scripts is that I did separate the words on this sheet. Usually if I have a bigger sheet, like on my Sticker Addict full sheet, I will have options of both horizontal strips or scripts and then vertical ones. So if you want to, put the image on top and then put the words like below it, you can do that. Or if you want to put the image on the side and then have the scripts on the other side, you can do that. But this was a smaller sheet, so I wanted to kind of give you the option to do both without doubling up the amount of scripts, because that would just take up so much space. So I have kind of each word or each half of a phrase cut out separately so that you can choose to do it horizontally. You still have to pick up every word and place it where you want it. So you kind of have to line that up, but you can choose to do it vertically or horizontally, whichever way you want to do it for that image. So You know, you have drink tea that's separated. Picnic is just one word, so that's that. You have carved pumpkins, which, you know, I would use with this one over here. Rake leaves, which goes with that one. You have trick or treat, so each of those words is separate. So if you wanted to do it horizontally, you could do that. You could do it vertically. I have it over here as a single sticker vertically because I wanted to make the or a little bit smaller on that one, and also I had room to do a separate version of that one. So, you know, and thinking that trick-or-treating is something you would generally only do once on Halloween, you kind of do have to make the decision whether to use this one or that one, but, you know, you have the option. Then you have apple picking, which is 2. Halloween movies, I think that looks like it's 1. Let me just check on my other sheet real quick. Yeah, Halloween movies is 1. Yeah, I think the reason for that was that Halloween was kind of too long of a word to be able to work vertically. So I made that 1. Then you have fall baking over here, and then you have just plain Halloween here. If you want to mark Halloween with that or use that for something else, you can do that. And then as a additional option for fall baking, I have bake a pie. And, you know, a pie is 1 sticker and bake is 1 sticker, so you could use it both ways. And I have 2 baking stickers, so you can use 1 for each one if you want. I also have 2 drink tea stickers, and I have 2 drink tea options. These are both separate here, and this is a little bit smaller than that one, so, you know, you have that size option. And then for an additional picnic option, you have go on a picnic. So you could just do picnic, or you could do go on a picnic. But again, there's only 1 picnic sticker, so you do have to choose unless you print out, you know, multiples, which is the benefit of digital stickers. You can print off as many as you want. Or you could just, you know, isolate the picnic image and then print that separately. And then for the Halloween movies one, I kind of tried to make this big enough so that you can write in the title of the movie that you're watching here. I kind of didn't do a super good job when I was drawing it, giving you enough space to do that. So if it's like a short movie title, like It, like that would really easily fit in there and that'd be fine. Otherwise, you'd have to kind of make your writing really small. So what I did was I gave you several options for that. So you can write in it by hand. You can create your own script. You could like take the movie title and then make it a really small script so that it would fit in that space and then print that off separately. You could do this Halloween movies sticker here. I made these 2 stickers small enough so that they would fit in there if you wanted to overlap that. And there's 2, so you could do 1 here and 1 here. And then I gave you the smaller option of the sticker. As it stands, these I think are a little bit wider than 1.5 inches, but it only overlaps a little bit. I just wanted to give you as much space as possible to write in there. But then you have the smaller options, which are well within 1.5 inches. I don't remember exactly how many inches they take up. But these are used more as just, you know, decorative images rather than functional, so you aren't meant to write in the smaller ones. Like, you'd have to write really small to get in there. So what you would do with these is just, you know, put these somewhere in your spread, and then you could take like the Halloween movies and then put that underneath it, and like that would be your indicator that that's what you were doing, watching Halloween movies. And then you could be specific about what movie it was. You can write that in or not. So you can use those multiple ways. So you have a lot of options with this sheet, even though you don't have a ton of stickers. But yeah, if you need more, you can obviously print off more, however you want to do it. I tried to give you enough to have a decent amount to carry you through your fall bucket list activities. So I'm probably going to be using a few of these when I go on vacation, because right now where I live in Texas, there's not a ton of fall stuff going on. There's not a lot of options. Like apple picking. I definitely won't get a chance to do that here. Raking leaves, no, not much of that. And I don't really go on picnics either, and I'm kind of too old to go trick-or-treating and pumpkin carving, and I don't have a house to decorate, so I won't be able to use a ton of these yet, but I will be going on vacation to somewhere where I will get to do a lot of fall things. So hopefully I'll be able to knock a few of these off. But yeah, so that is my fall bucket list sheet. Now let's get into the bigger sheet. This is going to be a super long release video. All right, so this is my fall doodles sheet, and oh my gosh, you get so many stickers on the sheet. I actually went and counted them up. There are 85 different images on here. I say different, some are repeated, but there are 85 individual stickers on this sheet, so that's a ton. So this is just fall doodles. I wanted to call it like fall deco, and it kind of works as fall deco, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of this could also be used functionally. And since it doesn't go with like a specific kit and like the cartoony drawing style doesn't really match a lot of kits, I didn't want to call it deco. So this is just my doodles, a few fall related items that you can use how you want. So I did repeat, I think most of these items here. Some of them are repeated in smaller sizes, some of them are repeated in the exact same size, some of them have multiple repeats. So you can use some functionally, you can use some as deco, you kind of have options here. As usual, I like to give you guys options. So let me kind of go through what we have. My favorite one is this wreath here, which let me see if I can give you a better view of that. That's probably the most detailed drawing I've done. And the color doesn't show up super well on here, but it's kind of supposed to be dark because it's fall. It's not like a spring wreath, which would be all bright colors. So it's pretty dark. So yeah, we have a bunch of fall leaves in there and a few branches, a couple of pine cones, and 2 little pumpkins in there too, and a bunch of decorative red balls that aren't really supposed to be anything. I just wanted to get some red circles in there because I thought it looked nice. So you have 2 of those that you can use for like fall decorating, like in the on the bucket list. It's the same wreath that she's holding here, or you could just use that as deco because I think it would look really nice as deco. So that's my favorite one. I'll go over the other big images. So we have also a picnic basket, which is kind of reminiscent of the one that I used here. It's a little bit bigger though, but yeah, that's like your classic picnic basket. And then we have a basket of apples right here too. So I did include red, yellow, and green apples kind of throughout this sheet, and I wanted a lot of representation. So that's our little basket of apples. Whoopsie, just had one of my nails fall off. That's great. Yeah, please ignore my nails in this video. I'm just waiting for my fake nails to fall off, and then I'm gonna give myself a manicure and see if that works better. All right, so what else can I go over? I'm probably just gonna start at the top and go down. So, well no, I think I'll go by category. So let's start with the pies. So we have an apple pie right here. This is the larger apple pie, so it's a lattice pie, and you have 2 apples here right next to it, all one sticker. And then you have a larger pumpkin pie right here with a little pumpkin behind it. So that's obviously kind of Thanksgiving stuff. So if you want to use that to mark, you know, cooking for Thanksgiving, or just that you ate them on Thanksgiving, you can do that. Or again as deco. And I think you have smaller versions of those. So you have a smaller version of the pumpkin pie right here, and then of the apple pie right here. And then you have mini versions of the pies that are just the single pie. So right here and up here you have mini apple pies, and that's a different kind of apple pie. That is the same one that I used in the fall baking image. So you get a little tiny version of that. And then you also get a mini pumpkin pie right here. You get 2 of those, and that's a little bit different. The pie part doesn't fill up the whole crust. I just wanted to give you guys options on designs there and sizes. So those are your pies. Then you get s'mores too. You get 2 different s'mores options. So here's s'more option A, which is when the marshmallows are, actually let me kind of explain this to you because it's kind of funny. So how I've always done s'mores is I've done them where they look like this, where I use a bunch of kind of mini marshmallows, and and I put that just on top of one graham cracker. And then I put the chocolate, and I actually use chocolate chips instead of like a chocolate bar, and I put that on the other half. So I have the graham cracker with marshmallow here, and the graham cracker with chocolate chips and white chocolate chips and butterscotch chips, because I went whole hog with these s'mores. And so I had these two halves, and I would put them into the toaster oven, and I would melt them at the same time. And then I would take them out, and then I would smush them together like a sandwich, and the marshmallow would be on top, and the marshmallow would be all nice and toasted, and then it would kind of smush a little because it was all gooey on the inside, but it would still mostly hold its shape, so it would kind of look like that. You'd still be able to see that they were mini marshmallows. So that's how I would always do it. And then there's like the more classic s'more style, which I don't even know if I've done. Like, I may have done it if somebody like had a fire that we were roasting marshmallows over. I don't even know. It might have been like a Girl Scout thing. But how it looks like that. So you have like a chocolate bar that you use, and then you use like one big marshmallow, and you just completely melt that down, and then you smush it together, and it's a s'more. So you have both options there. I kind of do like to throw a little bit of myself into my doodles. So that's, you know, that's what s'mores were like for me. And then that's your typical one. So you have a repeat of s'more 1 here, and then s'more 2. Please tell me I actually have one. I think I do. I don't, oh yeah, right here, my finger was covering it. So yeah, so you have 4 s'mores there. And now let's go over the drinks, because I have a lot of drinks. Like, when you think of fall, there's like, what drink comes to mind? There's too many. So first of all, obviously you have the PSL, pumpkin spice latte. That's probably like number 1. So you have 2 sizes of that. So you have a smaller one here and a bigger one here, and it's just in a mug. It's got, you know, the pumpkin spice dusted on top and the cinnamon stick in it. That's your classic pumpkin spice latte, and it's hot version. So you have small and big. You only get 2 of those, and then you have the frappe version, the frappuccino, pumpkin spice frappe. So with a little pumpkin behind it. So yeah, you have those 2 options for your PSLs. So you could think pumpkin spice latte is pretty iconic, but then you also think of like apple cider, because you got apple picking, right? So there's your apple cider. You get 2 of those with the little apple right next to it. It's also got the cinnamon stick. And then you think, well, fall is kind of warm weather, so you think of all the classic warm drinks. So there's tea, of course. So you've got tea there. I've never been totally happy with the way I draw teacups. For somebody who loves tea, I need to really get a handle on that. I'm gonna work on that. But that's your classic teacup right there. You get those 2. And then, you know, what's option number 5? There's hot chocolate, of course, which is more of a winter thing, but I decided, you know, it's cold weather. Some people are just hot chocolate people. So you got your little hot chocolate here with marshmallows in it. I guess technically you can use it as coffee, but I don't know what the white would be, like maybe sugar cubes or something, I don't know. But yeah, I didn't want to go for an exclusively coffee design, because like I said, not a coffee person. There's plenty of other shops that have that. So yeah, so those are all of your drinks. Plenty of options for that. Now let's get into the kind of Halloween-y stuff. So I did include a Halloween candy basket. It's not the exact same one as I did over here. It's slightly different. It's the same kind of overall design. The candy's different. But yeah, you get a big option and a smaller option of that. And you have a jack-o'-lantern here, 2 sizes, bigger and smaller. Again, not the exact same one used here, but kind of similar. And then you have so many pumpkins. So you have your normal pumpkin right here, both in big sizes. I think you do have a smaller version of that. Yeah, right there. And then you have tall pumpkin right here. 2 big tall pumpkins and then smaller tall pumpkin. And then you have short and fat pumpkin. So there's 2 big ones right there, and then your small one right here. So those are your 3 types of pumpkin, not including the jack-o'-lantern. And then you have a pumpkin patch. So you got 2 big ones of that, and then 1 little smaller pumpkin patch over here. So that's like if you go to pumpkin patch, pick out a pumpkin, there you go. There's your little image for that. And then one last Halloween thing is the candy corn, of course. Now, so many people are like divided on candy corn. They like either love it or hate it, and that's so funny to me. I guess it is kind of waxy, but I don't know, I like it. I'm one of those people who likes candy corn. Like, I used to be able to just eat a whole bag at once. Well, not like a whole bag, but like half a bag. I used to be able to eat a lot of it at once, but now it kind of sickens me. I do still have a sweet tooth, but I can't like eat a ton of it at once. It's just too sweet. But I will grab a handful, and that will be like my dessert for the evening. So I do like candy corn. So you have those options there. Let me see. I think there's only one other edible treat, and that's your candy apples. So we have 3 different types here. We have a plain caramel apple up here in the front, and then you have a kind of candy apple, so it's got the caramel layer, and then it's got the white chocolate layer, and then it's drizzled in darker chocolate. And then the one behind it is kind of the same base, so you have the caramel, you have the white chocolate layer, and then you have sprinkles on it. So you get 3 types of candy apples, and you get 2 of those stickers. And then speaking of apples, I do have a few options for that. So obviously I told you about the apple basket right here. And then you also get a bunch of apples here. So you have, red, green, and yellow. So you have big option here, small option here. And then in addition to that, you have your single apples. So you have green, 2 green single apples and 2 red single apples. I didn't do yellow because, they aren't super common. But you have plenty of apple options. And let me see. Okay, I think there's one thing before I get into the leaves, and that is just the fall candle. So it's one of your typical 3-wick candles that seem to be the rage now. So it's orange, and then you have the little red leaf in front of it to signify that it's a fall themed candle. So you get 2 of those. Okay, so now we can get into the leaves. Now obviously there's tons, and they're just scattered throughout here because that's like the most classic fall decor. First off, let me show you the leaf piles. So we have 2 of those. Again, they're obviously not the exact same ones as the one used here for the raking leaves image, but it looks like a pile of leaves, and you have a couple that are falling into the pile right up here. Now what's funny is that when I was doing all of my designing, I completely forgot that red was a leaf color. I was pretty focused on yellow, orange, and brown, and sometimes even green, for the ones that hadn't quite turned yet. So the leaf piles only have yellow, orange, and brown leaves in them. There's no red, there's no green in those. And the wreath, you will only see yellow, orange, green, and brown leaves in there. There's no red ones. But then when I was coloring in the bigger leaves right here, I finally remembered that red was a color. So you do have some red leaf representation here. And of course I did it in front of the candle too. That was, I think, the first time it occurred to me, because I didn't want to do orange because the candle was orange, and green was not fall enough, and yellow wouldn't have shown up, and brown would have just been ugly. So I was like, orange and red, and then I was like, oh wait, red's a fall leaf color. So yeah, so this is the biggest leaf, and it's the one that has the most variations. And it does look the most classic fall to me. So you have red, you have a red and yellow mix, you have yellow, you have orange, and you have brown. So that's 5 different colors for that. And then you have each of those in a smaller size scattered throughout. So there's smaller orange, smaller red and yellow, smaller yellow, etc. Then leaf number 2 is, I think, this one right here. So you have 2 colors for that. You have the green one, and then you have the brown one. There's the smaller brown, I think, right there. Not entirely sure where the big one is. There's the smaller green one. Oh yeah, no, that's the bigger brown. There's the smaller brown. I just kind of colored these based on what I thought looked most natural. So this I thought you would be most likely to see in green and brown. And then leaf number 3 is, I think, this one right here. So this one comes in red and yellow right here. So you have 2 options for that, I believe. I can't find any of the smaller ones. They may or may not be in here. Don't hold me to that. And then leaf number 4 is this one right here. So this comes in orange and yellow. And yeah, I think I may have only done singular versions of those. Maybe I just didn't have enough room on this sheet. And then leaf number 5 is this one, and it comes in green and brown again. And you do have smaller options of those. So yeah, so those are all the leaves, and you have so many options with this sheet. It's a really nice full sheet, and it did take me quite a while to draw, but I wanted to get this out in time for fall. So that is your fall doodles sheet. 85 individual stickers on one sheet for the price of $3, and you can print them off indefinitely. So really pleased to be able to offer you that. So these are my 2 fall releases, and this is probably the longest release video ever, but I really wanted to kind of explain these 2 because I put a lot of effort into drawing these. But yeah, I hope you like them. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to like, comment, subscribe, share the usual, that would be fantastic. And I will see you in my next video. Ciao!